Hello everyone, Scoony007 here bringing you another exciting game in the 2008 replay with Inside Pitch. In today's game we have the 0-2 Kansas City Royals taking on the 2-1 Detroit Tigers. And here is the starting lineup for the Kansas City Royals. Leading off, the center fielder, Joey Gerthreich. Batting second, the second baseman, Mark Gunzlek. Batting third, the third baseman, Alex Gordon. Batting fourth, the right fielder, Jose Gullin. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, Billy Butler. Batting sixth, the left fielder, Mark Tahan. Batting seventh, the first baseman, Russ Galad. Batting eighth, the catcher, John Buck. And batting ninth, the shortstop, Tony Penna. On the mound for the Detroit Tigers, it is Jeremy Bonderman. 3 wins, 4 losses, 4.29 ERA. 71.13 innings pitched, allowed 75 hits, 44 strikeouts, and 34 walks. We're here at Comerica Park, which gives a -1 to strikes, but a +1 to walks. And Jeremy is done with his opening warm-up as Joey Gerthreich steps up into the batter's box. And we are ready to start this game. Joey Gerthreich batting a .500 average. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be 1-2. 1-2 is a blank. And that's going to be 4-1. 4-1 is a fly ball out there to Thomas. Out number 1. Mark now up. Mark batting a .286. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be 2-3. 2-3 is at the ballpark. We go to Comerica Park for this one. 3-1. That is a question mark 8. That is a power hit out there to Thomas. And that is a 1. That is a single. So Mark gets on with a base hit. And that's going to bring up Alex Gordon. Strategy rolls an 8. Infield going to double play depth. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be 6-2. 6-2 is going to be a possible error. And 6-1, fly ball out there to Thames. And that is a 1. Thames's error rating is on a 1 to 10. That is a 1. That is going to be an error. And that is a 1 base error. So Gordon gets on with an error out there to Thomas. And the Royals now have runners on first and second. And that is going to bring up the cleanup hitter, Jose Gullin, batting a .167 average. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be 1-2. 1-2 is going to be a home run. That's a 9. It's too high. It needed to be 8 or less. 6-6, and that is a single past Ordonez. And Mark is going to come around to score. Gordon will get the extra base. And Jose holds at first. Royals have a runner in scoring position. And runners are on the corners. They're going to bring the corners in as Billy Butler comes in, batting a .375 average. Strategy roll is a 4. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be 5-1. 5-1 is going to be a walk. That's an 11. That's an 8. And they walk Billy. All right, they load the bases. Strategy roll is an 11. Infield at normal depth. As we go to Mark Teahen, batting a 167 average. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be 3-6. 3-6 is going to be a question mark. That would have been a single on a 1-9. The 12 is too high. So we go to the batter's card. That's going to be 5-3. 5-3 is going to be a line drive to the second baseman. And the runner's doubled up. And they turn a double play. No, we'll go with that. And that retires the side as the Royals leave 2 stranded. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error. We go to the bottom of the first. And here is the starting lineup for the Detroit Tigers. Leading off the center fielder, Clint Thomas. Batting second, the second baseman, Placido Polanco. Batting third, the designated hitter, Gary Sheffield. Batting fourth in the cleanup position, the right fielder, Maglio Ordonez. Batting fifth, the first baseman, Carlos Gullin. Batting sixth, the catcher, Ivan Rodriguez. Batting seventh, the shortstop, Edgar Renteria. Batting seventh, the left fielder, Marcus Thames. And batting ninth, the third baseman, Brandon Ing. On the mound for the Royals, it is Zach Greinke. 13 wins, 10 losses, 3.47 ERA, 202.13 innings pitched, allowed 202 hits, 183 strikeouts, and 55 walks. He's done warming up as Clint Thomas steps up into the batter's box, and here we go. The pitch. 6-2. That's going to be a wild pitch. We're going to re-roll that. And that's going to be 5-4. 5-4 is going to be a strikeout plus. We add 9. That's a 21. That's a 19. He struck him out. And that's going to bring up Polanco, batting a 500 average. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be 3-5. 3-5 is a blank. 6-2. That's a double. And Polanco smacks a double past right field. All right, Gary Sheffield comes up. He's batting a 286 average. Strategy roll is an 18. Infield at double play depth. Here's the pitch. 6-6. That's a strikeout. That's a 10. That's a 10 right on the nose. And he struck him out. And that's going to bring up Ordonez, batting a 429 average. Strategy roll is a 5, so the Tigers hold off. Here's the pitch. 1-2, range play at Comerica Park. And that's going to be 5-4. That's going to go out there to Penna. Penna's range is on a 1-3. That's a 1, and he got the out to retire the side. So the Tigers leave 1 stranded, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. After 1, it's the Royals 1, Detroit nothing. We go to the top of the second. It is Ross, John, and Tony due up for Kansas City. Here's the pitch. 6-1. 6-1's going to be a strike. That's a 5. The 9 is too high. 1-4, ground ball to the third baseman, Ig. Gets it, tosses over to Golan for out number 1. John Buck now up. Here's the pitch. 2-2. That is a blank. 3-4, and that's going to be a fly ball out there to Thomas for out number 2. Tony Penna batting a 143 average. Here's the pitch. 2-3 at the ballpark. We're going to go to Comerica Park for this play here. 3-6, ground ball to the second baseman. So the Tigers retired them in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the second. It is Carlos, Ivan, and Egger. Egger due up for the Tigers. All right, here's the pitch to Carlos Golan, batting a 250 average. And that's going to be 5-6. 5-6 is going to be a strike. That's a 7. The 18 is too high. 2-3, double star 2. And that's a ground ball to the second baseman, Mark, who gets it, tosses over to Ross for out number 1. Ivan Rodriguez batting a 625 average. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be 2-6. 2-6 is a walk. That's a 7. That's a 7, and he walked him. Strategy rolls an 8. Infield going to double play depth. So Detroit holding off on Strat. 2-2. 2-2 is a strike. That's a 7. The 9 is too high. 6-6. Ground ball to the shortstop. And that is going to advance Ivan to second. And the out is at first. So 2 outs, runner on second, and that's going to bring up Marcus Tabes. Here's the pitch. Nothing on the strategy die. 5-2, that is a walk. That's a 10 from Marcus. The 19 is too high. So it does not walk him. 6-1, ground ball to third base, and that retires the side. And that goes, Alex gets that, tosses it over to Ross for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and they leave 1 stranded. We go to the bottom after 2. It's Kansas City 1, Detroit 2, nothing. And due up, as we go to the top of the third, it is Joey, Mark, and Alex due up for Kansas City. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be 2-1. 2-1 is going to be a walk. That's a 4. The 7 is in range, and they walk Joey as we face off the top of the order. Mark, 1 for 1. Strategy roll is a 3. That's going to be a steal attempt. So that is going to be a 17 minus 3. No, that's going to be a 17 minus 1. So it's going to be 16 or less for the steal. That is a 20, and he's thrown out at second. And they got him out. They caught him stealing second. Ooh, and they sent him and they caught him. Alex Gordon, here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 1-5. 1-5 is going to be a strike. That's a 12. That's an 8. And they struck him out. Alex Gordon 0 for 1. And here is Jose Golan, who's 1 for 1 with an RBI. The pitch. 3-6. Question mark. Double start. A 1-19. That's a 1. And that's going to be a fly ball out there to Thomas. to end the inning. No, no runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the third. It is Brandon, Thomas, and Polanco due up for the Tigers. Brandon Ing, here's the pitch. 4-4, that's a strike. Ing has a 14, the 16 is too high. 3-5, pop up to the third base for out number 1. Gordon gets that. And he gets the out there. We go to the top of the order. Clete Thomas, 0 for 1, struck out his last time up at bat. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be 2-4. 2-4 is going to be a home run. And that is a 1. Clete has a range of a 1 to 2. And Clete with a solo home run. That ball's going back to the wall, and he's right. And they run out of room. That ball is out of here. Clete Thomas with a solo home run here in Detroit. And he ties the game up with a solo home run. Polanco up, who's 1 for 1, doubled his last time up at bat. Here's the pitch. 1 out, by the way. 5-6, that is going to be a strike. That's a 3. The 19 is too high. 6-2, that's going to be a double past Gulen. And Polanco gets on with a double. All right, if you're going to double play depth, strategy roll is a 19, so Tigers holding off on strat. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be 5-2. That's going to be a walk. That's a 19. That's a 19, and they walk them. All right, we have a 20, so we have a pickoff chance here. It's a 1, it's a pickoff. If it's a 2 through 4, if it's a 1, it's a balk. If it's a 2 through 4, it's a pickoff. If it's a 5, it's a pickoff error. It's a 5, and it's a pickoff error. And everyone advances 1 base as he throws past first base. And that is not good for Kansas City, as runners now move into scoring position. Here's the pitch. Polanco getting the hold sign, so he's not moving on as well. 2-5. 2-5 is an error. 4-4, and that's going to be a ground ball to shortstop. That's an error of a 3. Penna's error rating is a 7. And that is an error. And that is a 1-base error as well. And that is going to score Polanco. Sheffield goes to third, and Ordonez takes first. Infield going to double play depth. Strategy roll is a 9. Nothing happening there. 2-6. 2-6 is a walk. That's a 14. The 18 is too high. 1-1. Ground ball to the shortstop. And is he going to try to score? Yes. Are they going to try for the double play? Will the defense try for the out at home, or second to first for the double play? They're going to go for the out at home. All right, does not happen. If the D6 is higher, he's out. Nope, he is safe. That is going to score Sheffield. And Ordonez will move to second. And we now have runners on second and first. Because the Ivan Rodriguez walked his last time up. Strategy roll is a 9. Detroit having a 2-run lead here in the bottom of the third. 2-3. Home run chance on a 1-7. The 20 is too high. 2-1, ground ball to the shortstop. And that's going to be a double play. So Ordonez will move to third on that, but that's going to be a double play. And nope, we are good on that. So that's going to be, and that retires the side. 3 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors, and 1 left on. We go to the top of after 3. It's Detroit 3, Kansas City 1. 3 runs, and that's going to bring up Billy, Mark, and Ross due up for the Royals. Here's the pitch to Billy. He's walked his last time up. 5-1. That's a walk. That's an 11. The 13 is too high. 5-1. Fly ball out there to Thames for out number 1. Mark Teahen. 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be 5-4. At the ballpark, we go to Comerica Park for this one. 6-6. And that is a ground ball to the shortstop, who takes it, tosses it over to Gullin for out number 2. Ross Gold. Here's the pitch. 4-2. That's a blank. 2-1. Fly ball out there to Thomas for out number 3, and that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It is Egger, Marcus, and Brandon due up for the Tigers. Here's the pitch. 4-1, question mark, double star on a 1-70. That's a 10. And that's going to be a fly ball out there to right field. Gullin getting out number 1. And that is an auto out. All right. Marcus Thames, 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be 2-3. 2-3. Home run chance on a 1-7. The 9 is too high. 6-1, ground ball to third base. Gordon gets that, tosses it over to Jalod for out number 2. And that's going to bring up Brandon Ing. Here's the pitch. Who's 0 for 1. 2-1, strikeout. That's a 14. That's a 6. And they struck him out. So no runs, no hits, no errors. After 4, it's Detroit 3, Kansas City 1. As we head to the top of the 5th, it is John, Tony, and Joey due up for the Royals. John Buck, 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. 4-6. That's going to be a strikeout. That's a 12. That's a 3, and they struck him out. Tony Penna, here's the pitch, who's 0 for 1. And that's going to be 5-5. 5-5 is a strike. That's a 12. That's a 9. And they struck him out. We go to the top of the order. Joey Garthwaite now steps up, who's 0 for 1 walk with a walk. Here's the pitch. 5-3. Home run chance on a 1 to 10. That's a 5. Joey, however, has a 0, so he cannot hit a home run here. But 3-4, and that's a ground ball back to the pitcher to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's Cleet, Polanco, and Sheffield due up for the Tigers. Cleet Thomas 1 for 2 with a home run, a strikeout, and a run, and an RBI already picked up in the game today. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be 6-6. 6-6 is a strike. That's an 11. The 18 is too high. 1-5. Ground ball to the second baseman for out number 1. Polanco now up, who's 2 for 2. Here's the pitch. He has dealt with a double already in today's game. 2-3. Home run chance on a 1 to 7. That's a 2. We need a 3 or less. A 6 is too high, so we go to 2-1, and that's going to be a single past Penna. As Polanco gets on with a base hit. 20 on the strategy die. That's going to be a pickoff. And that 18 is too high. Infield going to double play depth. 3-3. Auto out. Ground ball to the shortstop. That is a 5 on that. That is a double play. And so no runs, 1 hit, no errors. After 5, it's Detroit 3, Kansas City 1. And that's 1 run, no runs, 1 hit, no errors at the end of that inning. We go to the top of the 6th. It is Mark, Alex, and Jose due up for Kansas City. Here's the pitch. 2-2. 2-2 is a blank. 2-5. Line drive to the second baseman. Polanco getting that, tossing it over to Golan for out number 1. Alex Gordon 0 for 2 with a strikeout already. Here's the pitch. 1-2. Blank. 4-5. Fly ball out there to Thomas. And that ends, and 2 away. Puts that Jose Golan 1 for 2, already has an RBI in today's game. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be 3-6. That's a double star on a 1 to 19. That's a 20. It's too high. 1-3, and that's going to be a pop-up to Blanco for out number 3. So no runs, no hits, no errors for Kansas City. We go 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It is Maggio, Carlos, and Ivan due up for Detroit. All right, here's the pitch to Ordonez, who's 0 for 2. And that's going to be 4-4. That's going to be a strike. That's a 6. That's a 3, and they struck him out. Carlos Golan now up, who's 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. 2-2. Strikeout. That's a 7. That's a 7. He struck him out. 2 away as Ivan Rodriguez comes up. He's 0 for 1. Already has a walk already in today's game. Here's the pitch. 5-6. 5-6 is a strike. That's a 9. That's a 4, and they struck him out. Well, no run, 3 up, 3 down as the Royals retire them in order. So no runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the after 6. It's Detroit 3, Kansas City 1. As we go to the top of the 7th, it is Billy, Mark, and Ross due up. Jeremy Bonderman can face 5 more batters before he is tired. Billy Butler, 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. 4-5. That is a strike. That's a 7. That's a 7. And they struck him out. All right, Mark Teahen, 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. 1-1. That is a walk. That's a 10. The 18 is too high. 4-1, and that is a double past Ordonez. And that is a double for Mark. Infield now at double play depth. Strategy rolls in 11. Nothing going on right now with strategy. Ross Gallardo's 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. And that is going to be 2-2. 2-2 is a blank. He's not tired. 2-5. Power hit past into right field. That's going to go to Thomas. That is a 15. And that is a double. Thomas having to go all the way back to the warning track. Teahen comes around to score. As that hops off the wall and Teahen scores. And the Royals now bring Detroit's lead down by 1. Ross Galard on base with a double. Royals trying to fight back here in the 7th. Strategy rolls a 2. Infield still at double play depth. John Buck, 0 for 2. Already struck out once in the game today. And that's going to be 5-3. 5-3 is a home run chance on a 1-16. That's a 14. John needs an 8 or less. And the 14 is too high. 2-3. Line drive to third base. And that is no double play there. So Ross still on second. The tying run on second. John Penna now comes up, who's 0 for 2. Strategy rolls a 10. Infield at normal depth. The pitch. 2-4. Hit by pitch. That's a 4. Penna's hit by pitch rating is a 0. Nothing. 2-6. And that's going to be a fly ball out there to Ordonez. Sing, take me out to the ball game. So 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Royals. They cut the lead down by 1. So we head to the bottom of the 7th. It is Edgar, Marcus, and Brandon due up for Detroit. Zach can face 3 more batters, so this is going to be his last inning. Let's take a look at the box score so far here. Kansas City lead it off with a single, and Detroit came back in the 3rd so far to answer with 3. Kansas City, once again, scoring another run in the 7th inning. The top half of the 7th inning. Yeah. So, Edgar Rentenna coming up. He's 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be 5-4. 5-4 is a blank. 4-2. Fly ball out there to Tihan for out number 1. Marcus Thames up. Here's the pitch. He's 0 for 2. And that's going to be 4-4. That's going to be a strikeout. That's a 15. That's an 8. And they struck him out. And that's 7 strikeouts for Zach Greinke in today's game. Brandon Ing, who's 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. 1-6. Strikeout. That's a 14. That's a 6. And he struck him out. So 3 up, 3 down as the Royals retire them in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 7, it's Detroit 3, Kansas City 1. But as we know, here in Inside Pitch, no lead is safe. And that is going to do it for Jeremy Bonderman, as we have a left coming up for Kansas City. So Detroit going to their bullpen. They're going to bring in... Oh, we had him hit. They are going to bring in Freddie Dulles for this inning. Freddie Dulles, let's take a look at his stats here. 1 win, 5 losses, 2 saves, 3.97 ERA, 47.23 innings pitched, allowed 50 hits, 29 strikeouts, and 23 walks. So with that, we're going to take a look at the stats here for Jeremy Bonderman. Pitched 7 innings, allowed 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. ERA leaves the game with an ERA rating of 2.57. And John Gerthright is going to take this hit. Let me see, do we have... And so Kansas City is going to need some power here. And that's going to bring up the pinch hitter, Mike. They're going to bring in the pinch hitter, Alberto Colapso, to pinch hit here. So we're going to try to get... Here's the pitch. 2-6. Possible error on a throw. And that's going to be 6-5. That's going to be a double star. And that is a ground ball to the second baseman. Error rating is in a 1 to 3. That is a 1. That is an error throw. And that is a 1 base error. And Robert gets on with an error. And he leads off with an error. Mark Gonzalez comes up. Strategy roll is an 11. So Kansas City holding off on Strat. Here's the pitch. Mark, who's 1 for 2. 5-6. That is a double star. That is a ground ball to the shortstop. And that is a 5. That is going to be a fielder's choice. A runner on first, forced out at second. And Gunzelek takes first on a fielder's choice. All right. Strategy rolls a 12. It's a pickoff chance. 16-0. 3-5. Blank. 2-5. Double star 3. And that is a ground ball to retain to the shortstop. And that's also going to be a force out as Gordon gets on with a fielder's choice. Jose Guillen, 1 for 3. Strategy rolls a 4. Here's the pitch. Tying run on the base. 4-5. Strike. That's a 9. The 14 is too high. 6-1. Fly ball out there to Thomas. And that retires the side. So, coming into play center field is going to be Mitch Madier, who's going to take over in center field. First base, they're going to leave Ross there at first. So no runs, no hits, 1 error for the Royals in that inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It is Cleat, Placidio, and Gary due up. And that's going to do it for Zach. Meant to click here. As we take a look, we have a left and 2 rights coming up for Kansas City. And they're going to bring in Jimmy Gobble. Jimmy Gobble, 2 losses, 1 save, 8.81 ERA, 31.23 innings pitched, allowed 39 hits, 27 strikeouts, and 22 walks. Here's the pitch. Oh, real quick, before we take care of that, let's take a look here at the stat. For Zach Gherkin, pitched 7 innings, allowed 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, and 1 home run. Leaves the game with an ERA rating of 3.86. Here's the pitch to Cleat Thomas, who's 1 for 3, and that's going to be 6-4. That's going to be a strike. That's an 11. That's a 10, and they struck him out. So 1 away, and that's going to bring up Polanco. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be 1-3. 1-3 is a range play. That's a 4. That's outside of the range of the special K. 4-5. Fly ball to Tejan. Ranges on a 1-4. That's a 3. And that's out number 2. And that's going to bring up Gary Sheffield, who's 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. 1-5. Range play at Comerica Park. That's a 4. That is outside of the range of the special K. 4-1. Home run. That's a 15. That's a 4. And that ball is hit dead center out of here. Solo home run for Gary Sheffield. And that puts the Tigers up, giving them a 2-run lead. All right. Ordonez is up. Here's the pitch. 4-6. Home run. That's an 8. The 19 is too high. That's a 5. That is outside of the range of the Special K. 5-1. Power hit to Gulen. That's a 2. That's going to be a single. And that's going to bring up Carlos Gulen, who's 0 for 3. Jimmy Gobble is tired. We have a strategy over 5. He is staying in, wants to finish this inning. 2-1. 2-1 is a strikeout plus. That's an 18. That's a 7. And they struck him out looking. 1 run. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. After 8, it's Detroit 4, Kansas City 2. But will we see some ninth inning magic? 2 up for Kansas City. It is Billy, Mark, and Russ. And that's going to do it for Freddie as Kansas City brings in their closer, Todd Jones. Todd Jones, let's take a look at his stats. He's only pitched 1 inning and only had 1 strikeout so far in this replay. Billy Butler not going to take this. Let's see, Todd is a right. They're going to leave Billy in. Ordonez is going to stay out there. Let's see, Ordonez is going to come out. So we're going to make a change. They are making changes here. Matt Joyce is going to take over for right field. Marcus Thames over there in left field. And that is going to be Jaquin Jones is going to take over in left field for Detroit. All right, here's the pitch. 4-6. That's a blank. 3-6. Ground ball to the shortstop. Out number 1. Mark Teahen, 1 for 3. The pitch. 1-4. That's a strike. That's a 10. The 15 is too high. 2-2. Fly ball to Jones. Out number 2, and the Royals are down now to their last out. Ross Golod. Here's the pitch. 1 for 3 with a double. 4-1. Walk. That's a 7. The 8 is too high. 4-4, and that is a single. And the Royals stay alive with a runner on first. John Buck, tying run, comes up to the plate. John Buck, the catcher, who's 0 for 3. Here's the pitch. They are not letting John Buck take this hit. Esteban Gurman comes in to take this hit for the catcher. Here's the pitch. 6-6. Strike. That's a 13. That's a 10. And that's the game. He struck him out. And that's the ball game as Kansas City comes back to defeat as Detroit comes back to defeat the Kansas City Royals 4-2. Final line score coming right up. What an exciting game here. Kansas City dropping to 3-0. Final line score, Kansas City 2 runs on 5 hits. They committed 2 errors in this game. Detroit 4 runs on 6 hits. They've also committed 2 errors. Kansas City no home runs. Detroit, Clete Thomas and Gary Sheffield both with a home run in today's game. Jeremy Bonderman picks up the win. Zach Gherkin gets the loss. And Todd Jones picks up the save. Let's take a look here. Jeremy Bonderman with the save. That's he pitched 7 innings, allowed 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. ERA of 2.57. Todd Jones with the save, pitched 1 inning, allowed 1 hit and 1 strikeout. Zach Gherkin draws the loss. 7 innings with 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, and 1 home run. ERA of 3.86. Jimmy Gobble pitched 1 inning, allowed 2 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, 2 strikes, 1 home run. ERA of 9. So that's going to do it for us here at Comerica for today's game. If you like what you see, give the video a thumbs up on your way through the turnstiles here at Comerica Park. And until next time, I'm Scoonie 007. We'll see you next time for another exciting game in the 2008 replay with Inside Pitch. Until then, take care, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.